Good morning, everyone. Good morning to all of our juniors. If we have some freshmen, some sophomores, and some seniors who've joined this orientation session, welcome to you. This is Mr. Ginoza, your principal, and welcome to the 2020-2021 school year. Obviously, we all understand it's going to look a little different, but I can tell you that everyone here, all of our teachers, our administrators, our support staff, our custodial staff, everyone here is excited to have a successful 2020-2021 school year. At this time, I would like to introduce our two assistant principals, whom you already know as returning students, Mrs. Nelson and Mr. Davis. And I would like to give them a brief opportunity to welcome you and introduce themselves again. Mrs. Nelson?
Thank you. Good morning, juniors. I wish I could see your smiling faces. We do miss you terribly. Again, my name is Mrs. Nelson. I'm the assistant principal over curriculum and testing. The item of most importance to you is probably your schedule. I do work closely with the counselors to ensure schedules are complete and ready by the first day of school. Hopefully you've already seen them, but if not, please take a look at Infinite Campus, check out your schedule, contact your counselor if you have any questions, because changes won't be made after the school year starts. Again, we miss you terribly. I can't wait to pop into some of your online sessions and see your smiling faces. And I look forward to having a very successful school year. Mr. Davis?
Thank you, Ms. Nelson. Good morning, juniors. Good to see you guys. Well, hopefully to see you soon in your virtual lessons. But anyways, I am the supervisor over discipline, attendance, and activities. We're going to have some information in this slideshow presentation today to go over when and how we're planning to go about after-school activities. And then also, you know, I know that we're in distance learning right now, but if you're still going to the doctor's appointments and you're going to be missing out from any of your classes, please send us your notes. We're going to provide information in this presentation on who to send it to and how. But I just wanted to kind of remind everyone, if you're going to the doctor, those normal things. If you're going to be sick or out, we're still going to be taking doctor's notes this school year. But again, I wish we could be in person and see your smiling faces, but what it'll have to do to meet you guys over in your virtual lessons, and I'll pop in and say hi to everyone. But again, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Ginoza. Thank you.
All right, thank you again. And I'll reiterate what Mr. Davis and what Ms. Nelson just said, is that we do miss you all. This is different for all of us. We're all going through this together. And we also understand that while we're all going through this together, you're all dealing with individual circumstances. And that's why we've made some adjustments that take into account what this global pandemic has placed upon us. And what I mean by that is you all have individual circumstances within your homes. And we do recognize that, and we're going to do everything we can to help you academically, socially, emotionally. And obviously, our first and foremost concern is everyone's health and safety. So on that note, welcome to the 2020-21 school year, and I will be getting into our presentation here in a minute. I would like to formally announce, though, that this presentation is being recorded, and the presentation that I'm about to show you will also be saved in a document format that you can access the recording of the video and the document of the slideshow that will allow you to access the hyperlinks for additional resources that you will see here in a minute on this slideshow. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now with you so you can see the presentation we have prepared for you to kind of give you an overview about what the 2020-2021 school year will look like. So if you'll give me 1 second. Okay, I am just waiting for a second as we deal with technology to make sure the presentation is up for you. And here we are. So again, welcome to our family and student orientation for the 2020-2021 school year. We are going to give you a lot of information today, but as as I've stated earlier, this presentation and the information will be available recorded as resources for you on our website later today, okay? So this is what we will be covering today. We will be covering student schedules, some new terminology that you will be seeing a lot throughout this online distance education format that we'll be using. We'll be going over the attendance adjustments that have been made by the Clark County School District and what it means to be present in class. We'll be reviewing what Canvas is, program uniforms and standard student attire, student fees, the importance of communicating with your teachers, wellness checks, which are new to the for the 2020-2021 school year, what to do in case you need assistance, and we'll also review student activities and clubs. Okay, so to kick this off, I would just like to remind everyone from our standpoint how fortunate we are to have you as a part of our student body. And I truly cannot express that enough. And the reason I say that is on a daily occurrence, when we were on campus, we saw all of these characteristics that comprise the word pride. We saw these on display every single day. The attributes of professionalism, responsibility, integrity, determination, and excellence. Families, I would tell you, the manner in which you're raising your students at home, your children, is on display every day. And we are so thankful for that. Students, we do know that professionalism, responsibility, integrity, determination, and excellence is something you know how to display. Now, in an online format, it's just going to take on some different characteristics as we will not have personal interaction on a regular basis. But please know, I want to thank you for displaying these at all times, because these are characteristics that move on with us in life as you become effective, functioning members of our society to make this world a better place, okay? New for the 2020-21 school year is our bell schedule. So you will see here that our start times and end times have been adjusted to reflect online distance learning. C days will become a more regular occurrence. So we will be sending out weekly reminders as to what the A, B, C schedule will look like. But please know that on a typical 5-day week, a C day is a typical Wednesday, okay? However, in relationship to, or in regards to A days and B days, your first period of the day will start at 7:40. Your second period will start at 9:05. We have provided a break for announcements, which will still conduct the Pledge of Allegiance and announcements for campus, some new events coming up or things to pay attention to. Everyone will have the same lunch break from 10:30 to 11 on A days and B days, and your lunch break will be from 11:25 to 11:55 on C days. And wellness checks that are new to the Clark County School Districts, which I will cover later in this presentation, have time for wellness checks have been built in on A days and B days. So that's what the schedule will look like. I would encourage all of you, when you're able to view this document, and we're going to send it out again later today throughout the week as reminders in document format, but I would encourage you to print it off and place it in the area that you've identified as your workspace for online schooling, so that as a consistent reminder for you as to what time class starts, okay? The first week of school schedule, we will begin with a C day on this coming Monday, August 24th. So that means your first period of the day won't start until 9 o'clock, and so on and so forth as identified in that schedule. So please know the first day of school will be a C day, so you can check in with all of your classes. And then we will go A, B for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Student class schedules. As Mrs. Nelson mentioned earlier in her introduction, your schedules are available in Infinite Campus. We would encourage you at this time to begin reviewing your schedule and contact your counselors should you have any questions or concerns. as we will not be making schedule changes once the school year begins. So again, please begin to take a look at this information and email your identified counselors. And again, your counselors, this information is later in this presentation as to who your identified counselors will be or are for the 2020-21 school year. And you can get in immediate contact with them should you have any questions or concerns about your schedules. Okay, important for the 2020-21 school year will be this new terminology that is used for distance education or online education. So I'm going to take a minute to kind of review what these terms are, because you will be seeing these terms on a weekly basis, if not a daily basis. You're going to hear these terms a lot. So it's important for all of us to understand what they are. The first term, asynchronous instruction. Asynchronous instruction means it's not live. This is when teachers are providing you video content, recorded video content for you to view. And this is also the time, students, when it says asynchronous, this is when it's really identified for you to work independently on the tasks that your teachers are providing for you. So parents, you will be receiving, and I will review this in a little more detail later on in this presentation, but everyone will be receiving weekly instructional guides, which will identify the times in which teachers have identified that this time frame is for asynchronous, which means the intent is for your student to be working possibly offline independently on their assignments. Okay. Synchronous instruction is when teachers are live in person using this meeting format, in which students will have the ability in real-time format to be able to ask real-time questions. This is when teachers are live providing instruction, possibly giving some class discussions. And so we are encouraging everyone, and the expectation is that you log in at every identified time when your teachers are providing live synchronous instruction. The importance of attending the live synchronous instruction is while the live sessions will be recorded for you to review, the live sessions allow the opportunity for you to ask live clarification questions. It provides the opportunity for you to engage in class discussions. And obviously, live instruction and access to your teacher in real time cannot be duplicated. It is vital, it is important. And obviously, in a platform that in a situation that we're in, our ability to interact live can be kind of limiting. So I would encourage all of us to, when your teachers identify the times in which they are going live, I encourage all of you to please log in during those times, okay? Video conferencing. Video conferencing is when possibly it is live audio and video connections. And this might be a situation in which a teacher says, okay, providing you in small groups. I want you to video conference to discuss this and to discuss a topic in class, or you might be working on a group project together. So that's the intent of video conferencing. Teachers may also be asking for one-on-one video conferencing as they try to provide additional supports for you. Virtual office hours. Blocks of time have been scheduled for our teachers to be available for you that are not necessarily during your class, but your teachers will be available for you to ask questions of. You may possibly make a request. Hey, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so, can we meet live during a virtual office hours? I have some questions. So that's the idea of virtual office hours. Obviously, we are going to encourage everyone, communicate with your teachers as often as possible. Email is going to be a important component. How often you're emailing your teachers for clarification, because everyone wants to help. And while virtual office hours are limited, please know that email is always an available format for you to get clarification. Weekly instructional guides. I believe it's the next screen, will show you kind of a sample of what a weekly instructional guide is going to provide. It will be provided for all students weekly, and it will be provided for all families weekly. So parents, you know the timeframes in which your teachers your child's teachers have identified when they will be live, when as synchronous, when they will have identified time for your students to work independently. So you can rest assured and know when your students are supposed to be online and when they're supposed to be working independently. You will also receive weekly updates from our administrative staff and myself as to kind of the goings on to keep you up to date as to what's going on at VTCTA. Again, I know I'm going over a lot of information, and it will be recorded for you to review should you choose to do so. So this is a sample of what your weekly instructional guide will look like. Again, I'm going to reiterate, this is a sample. We are finalizing what the actual guide will look like, the instructional guide, to ensure that it's consistent for all, that you're not seeing all different types of formats. So what you'll see here is the time frames will be identified, the period will be identified, and within the periods, the teachers will be identifying time periods when they will be synchronous or live, or when they will be asynchronous or independent work. That will be identified in the weekly instructional guide, again, with the time frames for announcements, the Pledge of Allegiance, and lunch. Okay? So please be on the lookout, and parents and students, please know this. You're going to get a lot of emails this school year. You're going to get a lot of communication. So please know that the over communication or the abundance of communication is not to flood your inbox. It's just to ensure that you are aware of what's going on here at school. Okay, attendance. Attendance is changing for the 2020-21 school year. Obviously, we will not be attending live until we receive further notice. So school for the 2020-2021 school year, attendance is being determined based on participation. It is still a daily requirement. If you remember back in when we went into closure, I believe it was March 13th, and we went into quarantine and we went to this online format. Attendance during that COVID closure was kind of tracked on a communication with your teachers. So at that time, we were able to track attendance based on the reply that you're okay, that you're working. That has changed a little bit in that the simple reply to a teacher or an email to the teacher saying, I'm okay, everything's well, does not count for positive attendance. We have to be participating in class or in a task that your teacher has identified. So item A, there are three possibilities that qualify from the Clark County School District that qualify as participation that allow us to mark in our system and track that you are participating daily. Option A is that we would be live participation in your synchronous instruction. So when your teacher identifies in your first period class that synchronous instruction is at 7:40 and you log in, you're participating in the live discussion, your teacher will be able to identify you or log you as participated for that class period and for that day. The other two options are this. Should you not be in the live session, which again, we all expect and encourage, should something become available that you can't log in and participate in the live instruction, item B identifies that you would need to complete the task that is identified by your instructor, and that would need to be completed by 11:59 on that day. That allows us to track your participation for that day. Again, attendance is still daily. The third option, should you not participate in a live synchronous instruction, or should you not complete that task, the third option would be for you to communicate with your teacher via email, asking clarification question related to that day's content. So for example, if it's your law enforcement class and they're discussing this policy, you would be sending an email to your law enforcement teacher asking clarification about what you reviewed in the recorded session, or something related to what you saw in the discussion about for clarification purposes. Again, if you are emailing your teachers on that day, it does need to be by 11:59 p.m. that night, so we can track participation on a daily on a daily schedule. Okay, your teachers will be reviewing this with you during your first week of school orientations as you begin to enter classes. So if you have questions about this, you'll be able to ask your teachers, or you'll be able to ask any one of us, as we are all available for you. Item D, student truancy will still be monitored. And again, based on the typical Clark County School District attendance policies. So if you receive truancy notifications, parents, that's your notification that your student is not participating in class on a daily basis. Absence notes, there's still going to be times where you are sick, that you're unavailable and can't participate in class. So absence notes will still need to be generated. Doctor's notes, and those will be emailed to Mrs. Ross. Again, Mr. Davis, as he identified earlier, is our supervisor over attendance, and he's monitoring attendance. And so between Mrs. Ross and Mr. Davis, they will be able to assist you with that process should you not be available to attend class or participate in class. Okay? Canvas. Canvas is possibly a new term to some of you parents. Some of you may have taken some online courses through UNLV, through some other higher education institutions, and you may be familiar with Canvas. So Canvas is an online learning management system that our teachers will be using to house assignments, to provide messaging to students, to provide announcements. This is where tests will be stored and provided for our students. And it does interact with our Infinite Campus system. So this is when something is graded, it will reflect an Infinite Campus. So those two systems speak to one another. So again, that is the management system that we will be using for the 2020-21 school year. Students, you will be able to log into your Canvas at item number 3 down here, where it says students will log into clever.ccsd.net to access all of your Canvas courses. Clever is a how do I explain this best? Clever is a housing mechanism that when you log into Clever, you'll have access to your Canvas courses, you'll have access to Infinite Campus, you'll have access to resources, you'll have access to Apex. All of those systems that we use are housed in one location under Clever. So it's actually really nice. What we're encouraging all of our students to do is to log into clever.ccsd.net to ensure you have access. What I want to caution you on, though, is when you log into Clever and you click on the Canvas icon, which is how you will access your Canvas courses, they may not be available in there yet. We are anticipating that those courses will be available on Monday. That's the information we are receiving. So please don't panic. Should you click on Clever this week and get into your Canvas, should you not see those available courses in Canvas yet? Okay. Additionally, teachers will be utilizing Google Classroom. So students, you're all familiar with Google Classroom. You're familiar with the Google Meet process and how we provide online meetings and live meetings. That will still be occurring. So the good news is you're familiar with Google Classroom. We will all be learning Canvas together as we manipulate and figure out how distance learning will work. And as we all become comfortable with this online platform, but please know that your teachers will be asking you to use Google Classroom and Canvas. Okay. Again, we're encouraging everyone to log in, students to log in prior to the first day of school to make sure you have appropriate access. Teachers will be emailing students Google Meet links to ensure that you have access to your first day of school live sessions. So that will come later this week. So please begin monitoring your school emails as you start to begin to receive email communication from your teachers, to ensure that you're up to speed and that you're not missing out on anything. Okay. Additionally, at the bottom, there are resources that are available for parents, for you to understand Canvas, for students to provide, for you to get some assistance on Canvas. Those Canvas links will be available in a hyperlink once we print off or populate this for you in a PDF format. Those links will be available. And again, that will be on our website by the end of today. New students to CCSD. Juniors, I know you're not new to Veterans Tribute and you're not new to CCSD. However, you might have a brother or sister who is a new ninth grader, who may be coming from a charter school or a private school or from out of state. So please know that if you are new to CCSD, you will begin receiving personal emails that will provide your student account information and how to access your school email and how to reset your passwords. So that is coming if you are new to CCSD. Okay, some updates on program uniforms and standard student attire. We sent this out earlier in the summer, so I'm hoping you received this information. But program uniforms will be optional for the 2020-2021 school year. If you've already purchased a uniform, we are going to authorize that those uniforms will be available for you to use in your senior year, so you would not need to purchase another one. We recognize and understand that this global pandemic has had an economic impact on many of us. And with that being said, every one of us is in a different situation, as I've mentioned. So please communicate with us if there's individual circumstances in which maybe we can provide some assistance. We'll do our best. But in regards to program uniforms, they are optional. I do recognize, though, students, if you've purchased them, I do understand the pride and professionalism that our program uniforms allow us to provide for you and how that makes you feel. And so if you choose to wear them, I would encourage you to do so. I think we all recognize that when we're home and we're in shorts and a t-shirt, our mindsets may change as to when we're wearing a school uniform or our program uniform. So again, the 2020-21 school year will look a little bit different, and we're going to have to motivate ourselves to be successful. So if you choose to wear that, I would encourage you to do so. Okay. Standard student attire. Should we return to campus this year for at some point, and again, that determination will be made by the Clark County School Board of Trustees. Standard student attire will be required as we are a standard student attire campus. So information on that would be coming out should we get to that point where we are being authorized and allowed to bring students back to campus. Okay. Students, families, please be aware during live sessions that the expectation is that you're dressed appropriately based on Clark County School District dress code requirements. Now, I want to emphasize this because I want to remind everyone, when you go into your live sessions and your camera becomes live, people can see what's in the background and see what you're wearing. So please, again, be aware of your appearance, be aware of what's in the background. Clothing needs to be appropriate. We don't want anyone to get embarrassed. We don't want anyone to put themselves in a situation that that is not representative of who you are. So please, again, please be aware of the background that the camera can view during your live sessions, and please be aware of your clothing and ensure that it's appropriate for our live class sessions. Okay. What we have here will be a link for you to review the behavior guidelines for secondary students as we are conducting live sessions, and we're still Clark County School District students, that we do still have behavior guidelines. Okay. Mr. Davis will be conducting a discipline orientation within the first couple of weeks of school, and he'll be kind of reviewing the updates in regards to student discipline. Okay, as I've mentioned earlier, this global pandemic has impacted many families and individuals economically. Students, I also understand that as juniors, many of you are working, and unfortunately, some of you may have been displaced from your work and out of work. And so with that in mind, the program fees will be waived for the 2020-21 school year. We will not be collecting typical program fees. However, there are some fees that are outside of our control, like AP testing, dual credit tuition, or membership in individual organizations that we are doing for after school activities. So please know that those fees would still apply. However, again, I'll just repeat that our program fees will be waived for the 2020-21 school year. I'd like to touch on dual credit tuition for a second. While I'm so happy to report that we have expanded our dual credit opportunities for students to earn college credit on our campus while enrolled at VTCTA, that dual credit tuition does go to that higher education institution. But I also want to remind you of this. It is at a severely discounted rate, severely discounted. So please pay attention to the dual credit information that is coming up. It's not in today's presentation. It's being sent out by Mrs. Nelson, but I would encourage you, if you have the ability, to still participate in dual credit, because you will be earning college credit at a severely discounted rate that will be saving you a lot of money after you graduate, okay? Communication with your teachers. Again, communication is crucial for our success. It's going to be crucial that we communicate with you effectively so you understand what's going on. It's going to be crucial that you communicate with your teachers so your teachers know where you are, if you have any concerns, if you need clarification on instructional topics. So please, again, be sure you email consistently with your teachers, reach out to them if you have questions. We will be using our typical school emails, and we will also be using Canvas, because as Canvas does have an announcement opportunity for your teachers to provide overall announcements. But again, students, you will need to check your email on a very regular basis. Okay. Okay, new for the 2020-21 school year are weekly student wellness checks. These wellness checks are required, and they will be administered by your 7th period teacher. The intent of this wellness check is to gauge and monitor student well-being related to social-emotional concerns and technology concerns. This is not related to the content of your course. It is really to ensure that if you are going through some social-emotional concerns, that our counselors become aware, that our administration is aware, so we can best serve you and help you through trying times. We do know and we do understand that working from home will at times does put in additional anxiety and stress. And so we want to provide you the opportunity to express what you're dealing with so that we can reach out to help you. It also provides us the opportunity to address technology concerns. In relationship to technology concerns, obviously, we're all functioning from computers now. We're working independently, and we may experience some interruption in service, as on August 24th, this coming Monday, there's going to be over 320,000 Clark County School District students logging in. And that overwhelming impact on the systems could cause some technology interruptions. So please, again, communicate with us. Use this weekly wellness check to express what's going on if you have technological concerns. But I would also ask for your patience in that, as all of the Clark County School District begins to log into Canvas, begins to log into Google, we haven't experienced this before. So I think we're all anticipating some interruptions, but we're confident we'll be able to work through them, as we also have email. We also have other platforms to communicate. So please, again, if you're experiencing some interruptions or some concerns, please use this student wellness check opportunity to express those to us. Lastly, while we'll be asking and requiring these student wellness checks, please know that that is not the only opportunity you have to communicate with us about your concerns. If it's educational concerns or content concerns, please reach out to your teachers. If there are other levels of concerns, Mr. Davis, Mrs. Nelson, myself, our counselors are all available, and you can reach out at any time. Okay? Who to contact for help. So students, when you have a question about a class, we would ask that you contact your teachers first. Your teachers can be reached via email. If there are other types of issues or concerns like stress management, time management, dealing with anxiety, possible mental health issues, please reach out to your counselors. Freshmen, this is not for freshmen, so grades 10 through 12, juniors, A through L will be with Ms. Snyder Hernandez, and M through Z will be with Ms. Stevenson. And they've been working so hard to get everything organized for you, to be able to give you all the information, because your junior year is a big deal, and we recognize that. So please reach out to them. As you know, they're amazing people, and your care, our care and concern for you is their priority. Okay. Student activities and clubs. We will be conducting student activities and clubs. However, it will be in a virtual format. Club information, signups will be announced soon, so please pay attention for that information to come. And we do encourage you students to continue to participate. This is the opportunity to connect with your some different teachers who may be the club advisors that you don't have in your classes. Additional opportunities to connect with students that you may not have in class, other friends, develop new friendships. This is the fun part of school. We just have to conduct it in a different format. So I would encourage you to continue to participate. One of the restrictions of student clubs and activities is at this time, due to COVID restrictions, there will not be any school-sponsored student gatherings on or off campus. And what that means is club advisors will not be allowed to schedule meetings in other locations in relationships to clubs. Unfortunately, due to the health concerns, we are not allowed to do that. And students, we will not be hosting off-campus meetings or gatherings. Unfortunately, we'll all keep our fingers crossed that this pandemic begins to, and our medical community begins to get a hold on this, that will allow us to gather again soon. But again, we are not authorized to do that at this time. Okay. For a brief second, let me just touch on, it's not in the slideshow, but let me just touch on the other things that I know you're missing out on. I know you're missing out on homecoming. I know all these questions about homecoming, prom, Sadies, all of these fun activities. At this time, obviously, we're not allowed to do that. We're not allowed to gather. But please know that Mrs. Newkirk with the Student Council, your junior class advisor, we will all be working to provide as many opportunities as we can for fun, for virtual gatherings, to do what we can to try and ensure that social component is still an important aspect of the 2020-2021 school year. So I just want you to rest assured, we're already thinking about that. We're already trying to look at manners in which we can provide some fun and social opportunities. Virtual open house. We will be conducting a virtual open house. And what that means is this year, our teachers have provided a pre-recorded video for you to view. Those video recordings will be available on August 21st, this Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. It will be on our website at vtcta.org. I am happy to announce that we do have new teachers to our school campus. So while you might see some different names, you'll have the opportunity to see who they are, hear from them in a pre-recorded format. And I know there's a lot of questions about ROTC. Who are these two new instructors? What do they look like? And you know, what are they going to be doing in military science in ROTC? So you'll have that opportunity during this virtual open house format. So as I mentioned, we do have some new staff members. Our new math teachers are Mrs. Lockett and Ms. Troth. We have a new PE teacher, Mr. Dunn, did leave VTCTA to pursue a new opportunity that was presented to him. So we wish Mr. Dunn well, but welcoming to VTCTA is Mr. Lang, who has already demonstrated and integrated himself very well to our school community, to our staff, and we're excited about all the new opportunities that Mr. Lang will provide in replacing Mr. Dunn. Our new special education teacher is Dr. Cifuentes, and she will be working with our new instructional aide, Mrs. Floss, to provide opportunities and support for all of our special education students and families. And our new JROTC program will be led by Sergeant Major Schoolfield and First Sergeant Horton. We are very excited about this new opportunity for our school. As we know, many of you have questions about the military and what it's like. And these two gentlemen come with a wealth of experience, having served a full military career in the United States Army. So we are excited about the mentorship and information that they will be able to provide for all of our students in our new JROTC program. So I'd like to give a formal welcome to all of our students, our new staff members, and welcome to the team. Additional resources for all. Online, we will be providing as many additional resources as they become available from the Clark County School District. But at this point, there are a number of resources that are available. And again, they will be in this format, in this recorded format for you to review, and they will be in a hard copy format, which will ensure that all of these links are live for you to click on to have direct access to these resources. So that we are providing online tutorials for parents. Parents, you'll be available to access Canvas through a different portal. Students, you'll be able to access through your Canvas through Clever, and all of these resources are available. There's a digital family guide that has become available at reconnect.ccsd.net. Additionally, students, you will how to find your login credentials, if you need to reset passwords. And again, parents, this last one, that you can create an observer account so you can view your students' grades and course content in Canvas. And again, you will always have the ability to view student progress in Infinite Campus through your typical Infinite Campus accounts. Okay. Lastly, again, today's presentation is being recorded and will be available to be viewed, on our website at VTCTA.org, and a PDF or document presentation will be available for you to enable everyone to access the links, the available links to the resources. At this time, I am going to exit this screen so I can see everyone's, you can see my face, because I would like to just kind of touch on one final thing. Again, so I would like to, again, welcome you to the 2020-21 school year. I am positive we will be successful. We are overcoming obstacles. We will be working together, but we will all remain positive. We're excited to have you back. We miss you. We know you didn't sign up to be online students. Teachers didn't sign up to be online teachers, but we're going to make this work. And again, welcome to the 2020-21 school year. And we will see you virtually in your classes beginning on Monday, August 24th at 9 a.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your vacation, students, and we'll see you soon. Take care.